Hey, what's up guys? We are in sunny Los Angeles and I have an amazing Bentley Bentayga extended wheelbase. Small problem though, because the boot, well, it's what you would call
tiny.
It is tiny. Yeah, thank you very much.
Ruined the holiday.
I haven't ruined the holiday, but it's going to be challenging because we have 5 cases, as you can see, and this boot, well, it's about 370 litres, which is kind of around what you get in a Ford Focus. But we're going to make it work. Positive mental attitude?
No.
Well, I stayed positive. Even though I'd clearly brought too much stuff, we had a 1,000-mile California road trip in a Bentley to enjoy. So, using a combination of strategy, delicacy, and an expert knowledge of Tetris, things were looking good.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
That didn't go to plan, but with a tiny bit of teamwork, a little bit of hope, loading some of the bags in the rear of the cabin with the children, plus some trial, error, a bit more error, and a little bit of brute force, we got it done. With the bags loaded, it was officially the start of our adventure, LA to wherever the road takes us. A proper American family road trip.
I told you I would get the bags in, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I mean, it's a little uncomfortable for some people in the back who've got their feet on them.
Half the bags are actually inside the car with us, which is not ideal. Are you also a little bit upset that I didn't get the 5-seater Bentayga?
No, I mean, I don't care because I haven't got to sit in the back.
Actually, kid number 3, who's in the middle seat right now, has fallen asleep, so can't be that bad. All right, tell me about the car. You're going to review it now. People don't want to listen to me. What do you think of the car?
It's fine. It's nice.
It's fine. The official verdict on the Bentayga.
I don't want to play this game. I can't do this. I can't be interviewed.
If you're in my video, you have to take part.
But I didn't sign up to be in your video. Am I being paid?
No, but you're in it. The looks.
It's a nice colour.
And what about, performance? You put your foot down there.
Powerful.
Braking?
Yeah, it works.
Okay, what about visibility? Is that good as well?
Lovely, yeah. It's got windows.
What about the seats? Do you fit in the seats?
Why wouldn't I fit in the seats?
Well, you're always moaning about the seats like you don't get a good driving position.
Please, stop. I can't do it, Rory. I can't. I don't know what you want from me. I can't play this game.
You're not really giving me like proper in-depth analysis.
I don't know anything about cars.
This is why we value your opinion though.
I can't talk under pressure about random nonsense. I don't know what to say.
Do you want a job on Autotrader?
No.
I think my job's safe.
And with that, I hopped behind the wheel to get a proper feel for the Bentley. And you know what? She was right. It was fine. Very fine.
First impressions. Really like this car. It's a Bentley, so it does feel extremely special. The first thing that strikes me is how comfortable these seats are. I mean, it's incredibly plush. It's a bit like sitting in an armchair. I've also got my massage function in the seats. And not only does the driver have that, but the passenger and the rear passengers have it as well. So the kids can enjoy a lovely massage along the route, apart from the one in the middle. Sorry about that. Suspension, really good. Air suspension, as you'd expect in the Bentley, incredibly plush. It just floats over imperfections in the road with no hassle whatsoever. The big thing though, obviously, is that 4-litre twin turbo V8, 540 odd horsepower, 700 plus Newton meters. Put your foot down. Yeah, you just waft along on this surge of torque. Lovely, lovely thing. Right, love?
Yeah, lovely.
Yep, she cares.
I wasn't even listening.
She wasn't even listening. I'm glad you lot are listening.
After several hours on the road heading mostly north, we left the highway towards a more rural area in search of a place to explore. California is full of beautiful towns, and without really trying, we eventually stumbled upon somewhere very special, Big Trees State Park in Avery.
This place is amazing. It's incredible how we started our journey in Los Angeles, and within a few hours, we're in a wilderness where the temperature is sub-zero right now. Everything is blanketed in snow, and we've had to dress up warm. But the difference in climate from one location to another in California, it's just insane.
Big Trees is famous obviously for its big trees. Thousands of square feet of sequoia redwood, some reaching as high as 400 feet tall with a trunk diameter of up to 30 feet. But as well as trees, this area is also known for its wildlife.
So apparently one of the things you've got to worry about out in these parts is bears. There are grizzly bears that inhabit this area. Just look at this. Whoa. So this is perfect kind of territory for animals to sleep. That, I reckon, if I was a bear, I'd fall in there and have a little nap. Do you know what to do if a grizzly bear attacks you?
No.
Run and scream. Who's the fastest runner?
Me.
Who's the slowest runner?
Me.
So one of them two are going to get eaten. Us three will be fine.
Yeah.
Of course, the irony of driving a V8 Bentayga through somewhere as beautiful as Northern California and the possible environmental impact isn't lost on me. The CO2 output is enormous, 300 grams per kilometer or 4.8 tons a year driving around 15,000 kilometers. Trees naturally absorb CO2, but a single tree takes in just 40 kilograms a year, meaning you'd need 120 trees to absorb the CO2 from one Bentayga in 1 year. That is, of course, if we keep them alive. California lost 36 million trees to drought alone in 2022. Food for thought. For now though, we enjoyed the beauty of another California night, settled down, and prepared ourselves to learn more about the car and the place on the following day.
Morning guys, it is day 2 of our adventure. We're still in Avery, California. Haven't been eaten by a grizzly bear yet. We're about to pack up in a minute and head off to somewhere that might be even more special than this place, believe it or not. But before we go through the Jenga of loading all the baggage back into the boot, I wanted to show you what makes the Bentayga extended wheelbase so special. And it is, of course, the extended wheelbase. This car is 200 millimeters longer than the standard Bentayga, and all of that is in these rear doors, which are absolutely enormous. They're bigger and heavier than the doors you get on the standard Bentayga, but they're not actually any more difficult to open or close because these are the first ever powered doors on a Bentley, which means you can open them with no hassle. The motors take out all of the strain. Just leave your finger in the handle when you open it, and it pops open with no problem whatsoever, and it works in reverse as well. Give it a little push, and the motors take all of the strain, and you get a nice little soft close action as well. Okay, let me jump in and show you the interior because that is even more special. Let me talk you through a few of the options. You can get a normal bench seat in the back, or you can get what I have here, which is the 4+1 configuration. In other words, 2 full-size seats up front, 2 full-size seats in the back, and then this occasional seat in the rear, which is where the smallest child tends to sit. But it also doubles up as an armrest with 2 cup holders and some storage space with some USB ports. Whichever version you go for, these powered doors also work from the inside. So if I open it up, watch this. Nice and wide. I don't have to exert myself by closing it. I can just push the door close button and the door shuts by itself. How cool is that? The kids have been loving that feature, by the way. Now, infotainment. That is a bit of a bugbear in this car. What I've noticed is that my kids haven't been using the rear seat infotainment system, even though it looks great, very fancy, 2 screens on the backs of the seats in front of you. They even include HDMI and Netflix and wireless casting, but they just haven't been using them. Not that they could anyway, because to set this up, you actually need a Verizon account and you have to pay $20 a month. And you might even have to pay for Netflix on top of that as well. I'm not really sure, but either way, they haven't used it. They've just been preferring to use their own iPads and Kindles and Nintendo Switches and whatever else they use, because those things are set up and personal to them, whereas this, you can't really take it with you, so there's not much point in getting really invested in the rear seat infotainment system in a Bentley. It's just there mostly to look pretty. Speaking of pretty, this is quite useful though. This very, very funky pop-out display which lives in the center console. Now this does a hell of a lot. It'll actually allow you to control the infotainment system. So in this case, I've got Sirius XM. It'll let you control the volume, control the climate control, and of course the blinds. This is really, really impressive actually. Let me show you blinds. So I've got my blinds up at the moment, but if I tap that, I can put the blinds down. I can also control the blind on the sunroof, although let me open that back up because otherwise it'll get quite dark in here. And actually the sunroof has been moved backward over the standard Bentayga in order for rear seat passengers to get most of the benefit. Nice touch from Bentley. Aside from that, we've just been enjoying the general quality of the materials in this car. The leather, the wood, the metal, it's all beautiful to look at. I love the ambient lights peeking through the perforated leather in the door cards. I just love hanging out back here, but sadly, I'm not able to hang out back here as much as I should because I've got to drive. And speaking of which, it is now time to load up the luggage in the boot and inside the cabin and hit the road for the next leg of our adventure. We're really lucky in that we've come across some really amazing stretches of road in America, and the one I'm on right now is perfect for a bit of, should we say, performance testing. Kids, are you up for some fast cornering?
No, yeah, no.
I'll take that as a yes. So obviously the star of the show is definitely that big twin turbo V8 up front. It makes 542 horsepower, so I'll just floor it here. What do we think of that? Again, mixed reviews, but so much torque, 770 Newton meters, and it sends all of that power and torque to all four wheels via an all-wheel drive system, and it's quick enough to do 0 to 62 despite its size in 4.6 seconds. There's a little bit of lag when you first press the accelerator, so you have to push beyond about 20% or so. It's set up that way to allow it to be quite a smooth driving experience around town, but once you get above 2,000 RPM, it's incredibly responsive. And that exhaust note, yeah, fantastic as well. Now, in terms of cornering, it's never going to be great, is it? Because it's such a heavy car. The steering is really slow. It's set up that way, again, in order to provide quite a smooth driving experience. But what it means is when you're going around bends enthusiastically, the steering takes a long time to respond. It's a bit like driving a bus, but it stays quite flat through the corners. It's got that active 48-volt anti-roll stabilization system, so it just stays nice and flat through the bends. You can actually have fun in this car. However, you can't have too much fun. The thing weighs over 2.5 tons, so eventually the laws of physics will catch up to it. Still, good laugh though. Kids, shall I do a drift?
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's a no from Mum.
Wow. Oh, it's coming over to the car.
It's a wolf.
Oh, yeah, it is a wolf. Oh, it's lost. Where's the rest of its pack?
Bye, wolfy thing. Open the window up, it'll kill you.
And with that, we reached the final destination of our American adventure, the Sierra Nevada mountains, one of the most beautiful, unspoilt scenic areas on the planet. Thousands of acres of mountains, rivers, wildlife, space to run and enjoy the beauty of America with no interruptions as a family.
No, Hugo! Oh man.
Hugo.
Right, keep looking. Oh, beautiful guys.
And what an epic way to do it. California, explored in style. An incredible state that will live forever in our memories. Yeah, the boot was tiny, but the Bentley was a fantastic companion. Comfortable, luxurious, safe, fantastic to drive, and ultimately, fine. As for us, we had an unforgettable time. Not even the slowest of us got eaten by bears, and I'm sure we'll be back again soon. Although maybe with something that has a slightly bigger boot.
Hi, wolfy thing.
Run the window up, it'll kill you.